There's a topic I've been wanting to bring light to for a very long time, but haven't because it only really matters to a small portion of the community. But I figure now is a good time to talk about it because I'm taking a break from build ideas for the moment. So this is that skill rating is meaningless in Guild Wars 2. As I said, this isn't applicable to everyone, but to me, if you're a silver player, then yeah, rating just means that you're a new player, right? You have pretty bad mechanics, and you're probably looking at your skill bar. You probably skill click, and gold players often, they can mash their keys at least, and despite not really understanding rotations very well, they can still manage to get lucky and rotate to one of the three potential objectives. Platinum players they're different from gold players because they generally understand rotations and they go to the right places at the right time. However, high platinum players, they rotate, but they also have an agenda. So while they go to the right matchups, they also play the correct playstyle, they focus targets, and when their teammates are low, they play defensively and disengage. So they have a little bit more awareness than a low platinum player. And obviously, yeah, those are pretty good indicators of skill, all of those things, but there's also other ways to increase your rating without any of those skill measurements. So you can play a meta build. Obviously, meta builds perform more reliably than off-meta builds, so you're going to win more matches generally. You're going to get higher rating. Also, play with a solo duo partner, because that's just more reliable to win when you can rely on your teammates. Or play during prime times because the matchmaking will be more balanced and you won't get punished as hard for losing if you lose to lower rated players. Or you can, do a little bit more shady ways to boost yourself. So for example, you can have an ult to practice on, and then when you want to try hard, you swap to your main. And you can also queue as a class and then swap to its hard counter because of how the matchmaker balances comps. And I'll go more into detail on that later. But basically what I'm trying to say is you shouldn't care too much about your rating. The only real reward you get is a title and a few more extra pips. So you should play for fun or for personal improvement or for gold rewards. I suggest instead of trying to get rating, you just try to get good. One of the biggest things to help you get better is understanding rotations and how to be aggressive. I have 2 videos called What is Rotation and How to Carry in PvP. There are many other videos I have that can help you improve, but these 2 are the most essential in my opinion. Also, for those of you who prefer text guides, I have transcribed both of those videos into articles which will be featured on a new Guild Wars 2 website, which you guys should check out. It's guildgen.com, and it's still under construction, but there's quite a bit of content planned for it if you look at it. There will be PvE achievement guides, so if you missed Dolphy text guides, like I know a lot of you have, and you've been using the wiki like me for the past year, you know how inconvenient the wiki can be sometimes. So if you really want to check out the newest, I think the newest Living World is coming out soon, so if you want to see guides for that, go there. But there's also going to be world versus world guides and builds, which to me is very interesting because unlike PvP, there are way more roles to play in world versus world, and the build design can be much more creative. And then obviously PvP guides, which you'll find some written by me there. So if you like my content, you should check that out too. So yeah, it's guildgen.com. It's probably a reference to that one show with Felicia Day called The Guild, except your guild leader isn't creating drama, just giving you all the information you need to enjoy the game without having to try hard to look for that fun. But anyways, I'm not here to talk about how you can improve yourself, because there are plenty of ways that you can do that by subscribing to my channel and watching my guides. I'm here to enlighten people who may not already know how the system works. So For those of you who watch my stream know that I generally hang around Plat 1, Plat 2, I test builds in Ranked, and I play off meta, and I play classes that I'm not comfortable, and I theorycraft and meme. And even though I try my hardest to win, I'm pretty much hard stuck Plat 1, Plat 2. And that's because of all those things that I'm doing that isn't, playing meta builds, playing with a duo partner who's tryharding as well, and playing during prime times. I just play all the time. And the other day I got fed up with people asking me about my rating, and I just decided to play my main DP Thief, which I haven't really played on stream in a while. So you can see the results of that stream by going to my past broadcasts and looking at the highlight titled DP Thief Qs from July 16th. Basically, I solo queue on Thief for a few games, which in my opinion it's probably one of the harder carries in Ranked at the moment if you're at a higher skill level. Then later on in the stream, Frostball, who hasn't really played the game in probably a year, joins my party, and he's playing on NA with EU ping and asking me what build to play and intentionally trolling me by playing shitty traits like Roiling Mists, which has been nerfed so long ago. Anyways, we're doing as Rev Thief, which is a hard try-hard carry comp, and we basically go without losing a single match because we don't really go against any decent players, and no matter how hard our team throws or how many mistakes we make, we still get the win because we know how to snowball, we know how to focus targets, and we both rotate. By the way, check out my guides to learn how to do that. Anyways, we're playing at around NA prime time, which is after 6 p.m. Eastern, and we push into top 10 without losing a single match. It's kind of crazy how we received no opposition the whole way. That's because the population is pretty low, and I'm just leeching the rating off low plate, from the Plat 1 and like Gold 3 area. And there's just no other players to contest my skill rating level. So mind you, I wasn't even trying to game the system. I was just streaming as normal. But I did just change my class to being one that I'm comfortable with. And I added a pretty high profile duo partner to my party. And afterwards, I didn't claim that I carried or that I deserved top 10, because even though I do know that I can contest players of that skill rating, I didn't really prove it by beating gold players. That being said, you can go even more scummy with how you abuse the system. So let's check out this instance. The other day, I was watching Nudie's stream. I'm not saying Nudie did something wrong, but Nudie is an Australian player. So he streams during his prime time, which is around 5 a.m. Eastern time. And during this off prime time, you have a bunch of Australian players flaming Brazilian players about who has the higher ping. Then, all of a sudden, I see him get into a match with Shorts on his main account. So already from this, I can tell you two methods of boosting his rating. First of all, he's in NA, so he's got better ping than all the people he's going against because they're mostly, Australian. I see Lucian on the other team who is he's living in EU, but he plays on NA. And yeah, Nudie, Australian. So he's playing with and against people who have at least 100 more ping than him. And when he plays on his alt account, it's when he streams, which is understandable. But when he gets on his main, it's when he tryhards for top 10. He waits till 5 a.m. to queue versus Australians and EU players with high ping. And I mean, Lucian is a pretty good player, but his main game mode is PvE. So, he's not only is he going against players with higher ping than him, he's also probably going against players who are lower rated than him. So when you play off prime time, you're generally not going to have everyone the same skill rating because there's just not enough players to get a full Plat 2 match at 5 a.m. So basically how the system works is you gain rating if you win and you lose rating if you lose, but how much you win or lose is based on the rating of your opponents, not so much on the rating of your team. So if you're duo queue with someone who's pretty high rated, it's going to give you higher rated teammates to go against sometimes, but in the case where it doesn't have those higher teammates, it's not gonna. And if you're against players with much lower rated than you, it's going to punish you much more for losing and reward you much less. But if you're playing versus lower tier players while duo queuing with tryhard builds, you basically can't lose. So on top of this, you can match manipulate by what class you queue in as. So how the matchmaker works, it tries to find players of relatively the same skill and put them together. But who goes on which team is decided by what class they play. So if there are two thieves queuing at the same rating and they're not in party, they'll usually be put against each other. Also, the game tries to prevent class stacking, so it puts no more than 2 of one class on a team. Obviously, you can swap once you get in the match, so you can create a team of 5 Reapers or anything if you really wanted, but the fact that the game tries to make the comps even can be abused. So if you duo queue and both players queue as a mesmer, the game will try very hard not to put a mesmer on your team, like really hard. And if a mesmer is queuing, you will most likely go against them. So if there's a class that is really weak in the meta, say like warrior and mesmer, you could queue as both of those and have a lower chance of having them on your team, and then just swap to a class that's overpowered or that counters those. In this case, both Shorts and his duo partner CJ are doing this. And not only do they queue as warrior mesmer, they swap to thief, which counters mesmer, and hollow, which counters pretty much anything because it's the most broken class right now. So Shorts knows he's doing this. He even admits it in map chat. Like, dude, you gotta be less obvious that you're match manipulating. But obviously, this isn't against US. This is just, this is just something that we allow because there are greater evils if we don't allow it, right? Because we want to be able to queue as something else and then maybe swap if our team needs it. Or, we want to be able to queue and not get like 5 thieves on our team, right? So we kind of need this to exist in a way. The issue is not to change the system. It's just that we need to accept that rating is meaningless. So that's fine all. You can care about rating if that's your thing. But, don't go and tell other people that you're good because of your rating. But yeah, anyways. So the next day, I'm streaming 5 a.m. I'm just playing Revenant, and I see Shorts is on the other team, and he's duoed with Swift, which is his duo partner. That they play Mantra Mesmer together very often. And if you notice in this match, there's a thief on my team as well. So they're duoed as they queue in as 2 thieves, and you'll see they swap. So it's actually going to be like Thief Mez or something like that once the match starts. So the match starts, you can see in the top left my Thief has swapped to Chrono, and now I have a Chrono on my team. So he queues in as Thief and swaps to Mesmer. He's dead in roads to like, a Thief and a Necro. I go to mid, and we're like 3v1ing this Weaver. We get him off the node, and we get the full cap. And then my duo partner is playing a 1v1 kind of Core Guardian build. They're doing pretty well holding home. They're actually 1v2 now. But I get jumped on by Shorts, who's playing Condi Mirage, and Swift, who is playing the Thief. And I do a really good juke here, and I get those spurgs off of me, and I survive basically the Thief Mesmer focus. And my Necro, who is kind of like a bunker Necro, is just holding mid meanwhile. So we get a trip cap on them, even though they're trying really hard. And yeah, so we're in a good position now. The match continues. I go back into mid. My Necro is dead, right? Because they pushed me off mid and then they just started killing my my team. Now notice my Mesmer is in the Toes guild, right? You'll see later what the actual guild is, but he runs into far and dies. So at this point, yeah, the Mesmer is dead, and I'm being chased by a thief. My Necro is doing fine at mid, and you'll notice the Mesmer keeps self-resing here, right? So I go into home and try to regroup with my team. Just pressuring shorts here a little bit. I think it's like a 2v2 now with my Guardian and shorts and their Weaver. So I just chase. The Mesmer is still attempting to self-res over here. So that's a little bit weird, right? But, we're doing okay in our match. We have mid. We're doing pretty okay in like a 3v3 at our home node. He's still self-resing. And, yeah, we get decapped at mid. Now let's fast forward a little bit. And we get the kill on the Weaver. And we try to snowball into mid. Yeah, this is like a few minutes later. My Mesmer is still in the downstate self-resing, even though there's like a couple people there. It's a little bit weird, you think, right? It's a little bit weird. So I'm at mid now. I am just trying to pressure people so they can get the node. I chase shorts into home. And yeah, their thief is here. I think he misses steal a few times here. Because Swift is not really good at playing anything except Mantra Mesmer and one-shot Mesmer. But anyways, we're in a 2v2 with Thief Mez. I get a nice Jade wins on shorts. Look at where my Mesmer is right now. So the Mesmer is next to their Thief, and he's going into mid. I'm just chasing shorts right now, right? So just making sure he can't carry the map. I get a kill on him. Look at my Mesmer though. The Mesmer is full HP, and then his health just goes down gradually, and then he just dies. He just stands there and just takes it and dies. And now as you can see there, this is when it starts to get a little bit weird. So I target my Mesmer, and I realize he's repping Keck Easy Peasy. That's the guild that CJ and Foshizzle, all the other, shorts minions rep. So right now I'm thinking this is pretty strange because they duo queued. If you look at the start, they duo queued on two thieves, and my guy queued as thief. So if you remember what I said earlier, if you duo queue, you don't get more than one. And if there's someone else queuing as thief, it means that you will go against that duo queue of thief. So basically what they did, this is just my assumption, is they queued as two thieves so that their third player that they're 3 queuing with to get on the other team can play thief as well, and then swap to Chronomancer and then just feed all game and self-res when there's clearly no way that he can res. Okay, yeah, so maybe it's a little bit of a win trade here, but let's go back into the let's keep watching. It's a little bit it looks like maybe a win trade here, but let's just keep watching. So the Mesmer dies at far again. We're still winning, right? We're still winning. So I think he needs to throw a little bit harder at this point to actually throw the game. So if you notice, do I have the music up? Yeah, the music is up. So if you notice, we come into far, we prevent them from snowballing, and we actually keep the cap. So me and my Guardian are holding this node, which my team just fed at, right? And now you'll notice the Mesmer needs to throw harder because they're going to lose. So the Mesmer actually says AFK BRB in chat right now, and then he AFKs for pretty much the rest of the map. So yeah, he just sits there AFK. I get a nice beast deal here, but I end up being outnumbered, and yeah, I'm getting like 2v1 by Thief Mez here, and even the DH is at mid, because yeah, as you can see, the Mesmer is still AFK at home. So it's, it's just maybe a little bit suspicious to me. It's looking like a win trade to me. So as you can see, my chat is now noticing that my Mesmer is AFK, and it's just a little bit suspicious. So now the game is pretty yikes right now because we're getting snowballed. We have an AFK Mesmer and an AFK Ellie, and I mean, at this point there's really no winning because we're gonna 3v5, and so we get snowballed in like a 3v5, and then you can see here, watch. So this player who was repping the guild earlier has now unrepped. They're now no longer repping CJ's guild to make it look like he's not, associated with the Mantra Mesmers that he's win trading for. And then he goes out once he's sure that the game is lost for us, and he pretends like he's playing, and just at this point it doesn't matter anything that he does. That's kind of yikes. I mean, do you guys think that Shorts is win trading? Let me know in chat. But to me, Shorts is a little bit egotistical, kind of pulling the Grimjack here, in terms of thinking he's better than he actually is. So, I mean, I don't know, guys. Do you think rating is meaningful? After seeing this, I don't. I think it's meaningless. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm pretty disgusted, but, don't necessarily unsubscribe from Shorts. There's not really many other Mesmer content creators out there. Go watch, Countless, Bring Your Friends, but he only plays one build, right? So, I mean, you can watch one build, or you can watch Win Traders, I guess. So, yeah, I'm just speechless now.